Yeah, baby. Let's find the angle. There it is. It's kind of hard to figure out from here. Hello, the initiated. My name is Marcus Jon Nicola, and this is another demo / review. Today, we're looking at Damage Drum Kit. Now, this is another product from Heavyocity. For those of you in the know, might know Damage 1 and Damage 2, which are these kind of orchestral, big, epic, cinematic percussion libraries. I use them pretty much all the time. They're amazing. And this is a continuation of that lineage. And in fact, I know very little about what I'm looking at here. All I know is what you see as well. But I suspect from the name that this is a drum kit that has been given the damage treatment. So the damage treatment is to take sounds and mangle them and process them and make them really massive and raw and epic and powerful. Although that's a generalization, but that's kind of because there is a lot of diversity in the damage libraries as well. But that's in kind of basic principle what they're like. Just to be clear about what you're hearing, I have nothing but Damage Drum Kit live in my DAW, except for my mastering limiter, or my limiter on my master, which is really just raising up the level so that it's somewhat decent for this video. I've tried to make it as transparent as possible, so pretty much what you're hearing is damage. We need to, or we might need to adjust the limiter as we go along because there is some volume fluctuation, but I'll try and do my best to tweak that. For transparency's sake, Heavyocity has sent me this product to check out, but I haven't been asked to say anything. Just check it out, tell people what you think. So all opinions and thoughts are my own, both good and bad, so take it for what it's worth. Anything else I want to kind of lay as a foundation here? I don't think so. Let's jump myself into Persona Studio One. Your view should be the same, hopefully, but yeah, so this is what you're looking at when you open it up. You get three folders or three menus. You have an ensemble designer, a drum kit designer, and a loop designer. So what I'm going to start with is the kit designer here, and this is really the first patch that opens up. And up here, where is it? Here, yes. Damaged folder and organic folder. So obviously in organic you have sort of more natural sounding drums, although they are all processed in a very specific style. So if you want completely initialized sounds, I don't think this is something that is being offered, although please correct me if I'm wrong, but you're really paying for the Heavyocity quality and the productional quality, because these are sounds that you can simply throw into your sessions and get a ready sound, if you will. So, but yes, you also get like a typical drum sound here. So I'm gonna first go through the organic sounds here, just to give you an idea of what the kind of source samples are like and what the starting point is. And I'm gonna try and move through these pretty swiftly, so that we can go through as much as possible, and then we're going to go through the damage folder, and I might stop in between to comment on something specific, but otherwise I just want to give you a kind of an overview of what's in the library and what it sounds like. So, aggressive puncher, let's do it. That's really nice and crisp and punchy. Okay, that low end is pretty sick. That's a brilliant kit. Also, disclaimer, there's a bit of lag because of the limiter on the master bus, so that's my excuse for sloppy playing. That stick sample is really, really good. I can pretty much, like, it feels to me like I'm in the room when it comes to that stick sample. That's a brilliant kit. Next up, dry and tight. Yeah. Nice. These are really big sounds. Like if you're looking for something very nuanced, probably not your thing, because if we listen to these dynamic layers, it doesn't go super quiet. Like that's as quiet as I can play on this keyboard, and this has a lot of resolution, so yeah, if you're looking for tiny, quiet, detailed sounds, this is not the thing. Like Damage is about big, massive sounds, so that's what you're gonna get. So we have a kind of a strange roll here. I'm not sure what that's kind of supposed to be. You could use it like this, I guess. But it's meant to be almost like a stick drop, which is kind of interesting. Usually there's like a roll sample here. And also, as you can see from the layout, which I haven't mentioned yet, it is very traditional and typical, which makes it easy to play, so I dig that. Because as you can hear, processed sounds, already delays and stuff in there. That's what I love about a lot of the Heavyocity stuff, is that there are a lot of very cleverly designed patches and presets, and they can be immensely inspiring, and that's what I look for in a lot of the stuff here. That has got to be one of the best stick samples that I've ever heard. And that might sound irrelevant, but I actually do use sticks a lot. I find that to be a very underutilized sound. I use it in so many different contexts, but that's the imaging is perfect. This sounds brilliant. Amazing stuff. I bet you've never heard anyone get so excited about sticks, but that's me. Did I wish there was more dynamic range? Yeah, I'm a sucker for fine detail, but again, you're probably asking something that they didn't intend to create. So, I mean, stunning sounds regardless. Yeah, that is a stick drop sound or sample, which is interesting for sure. Okay, that is super intensive, but it's brilliantly designed. The imaging, the details, especially when you put a bit of space between the notes, that sounds really good. Yeah, that's a brilliant patch right there. Very processed, but it just bites the perfect amount. Saturated Room Crusher. Very nice, very nice. Shadow Doom hats. So I guess most of this is probably designed to work in that kind of either cinematic context or something where you need like bigger than life, but through punching drum kit sounds. And yeah, I mean, obviously it's working in the very same area as damage 1 and 2, but it's just kind of patching in some of that. Well, not some of that, but the need for that sound, but for drums. Obviously, damage 2 and 1 have these kit sounds, which kind of, some of them resemble this, and also the look of this is kind of similar to that, but it was never, I don't think, super focused on kit sounds. So I think this might actually patch a very good need for a lot of composers and other musicians. That's very snappy. Stadium rocker. I love those kind of weirder sounds, kind of resonant. Obviously, that's kind of like a cowbell-ish sound, but amazing. I mean, again, like this would be right at home in a kind of 80s ballad, huge rock song. I mean, this is not only for composers, but yeah, a lot of diversity to be used in. And yeah, I love those sounds that really hit really nicely like that strange cowbell-ish thing. That hits really nicely. Really nice. Trust the hype. That hits pretty nicely. That's a very, very, very long ring on the right. Okay, we've gone into the damage folder here, so we got a few to go through. I'm just going to continue plowing on. So these are going to be more processed and just damaged. It's just bigger than anything. By the way, I have to note that one of these was called 9-incher, but wasn't called 9-incher, which is probably an intentional shame. And again, you have that massively filtered and distorted kick, and it creates these resonant pitches. But that can be tremendously inspirational. Like that could be a foundation for a track right there. That's why I love Heavyocity. It just, you know, gives you that inspiration. Absolutely massive. Crunch on command. That snare has so much bottom that it almost sounds like a kick on itself. Maybe it's a layered one, I don't know, but those weirder kind of things that I really love. Those can be like a center part of your track. Oh, I messed up with my mic there. Yeah, these are huge. I don't know what you heard just now, but massive, aggressive sounds. Might be in a bit of trouble with the limiter here, but it's really difficult to find a proper balance. Okay, those seem to have been all the drum kit presets here. Let's close this up and let's do Ensemble here in between. So from what I can tell, these are, again, you have kits here, but I I don't know where the ensemble concept comes from, or what they mean by it here. Obviously here you can see the grid, which is familiar from Damage. So I suspect, you know, many people have played these samples. I could be wrong about that, so apologies if I am. But yeah, also the layout is, you know, slightly different here. So you got your kicks and probably snares, and I don't know how this is laid out, but we'll find out soon enough. And an interesting thing that I noticed was that, well, in fact, let's go through these and talk about stuff as it comes up. This one is Ambient Ghosts. Okay, so some of these are triggers to a sample of multiple notes or a certain pattern. So you got to play the single note, obviously, if that's what you're after. And this one obviously has the delay and other processing on it. So this is super interesting. If you look here, it says right hand and left hand as I play these samples. So that's a pretty interesting approach. So even though this is obviously processed differently, the other one is slightly more filtered. This does give you a different, it does actually give a different sound. If you have a great drummer, then there shouldn't be necessarily a lot of difference between right and left, but it's that, you know, if they're completely balanced as a player, but there is a different detail to that, and it creates sample richness, which is really what is the point of doing such a thing. So you just get a more believable and dynamic recording. So yeah, you have some triggers for patterns and stuff like that. And I suspect it's called Ensemble because you have many people playing. I don't know, I could be wrong. Maybe it simply refers to this kind of space and this kind of layout, because a lot of this setup comes from the idea that you want to have sounds in different areas of the stereo field. But let's listen to Butter Kit. So again, you can use those loops or singles, whatever you want. Cinematic stealth. Cool. Crunchy cinematic. So okay, an entire patch dedicated to cymbal reverses, which is really cool. These help in building transitions and stuff. And as you can hear, there's a bit of like detail in terms of processing slight glitches and other sounds. Drumming circle. Okay, so these are all loop or kind of sectional samples. So that's kind of interesting. I don't know why it's laid out that way, but certainly a creative tool. Okay, Epic Trailer drum kit, and this is kind of a maybe one of the, I'd say, the central references to what this is for. So, you know, drum kits punching through a lot of stuff. So let's check it out. This one is called Hyped. So there's one that is, I presume, less processed. And again, here you can see left and right differently sampled for the kick drum. That's kind of fun. I really love having two notes dedicated for kicks because it allows me to do the double bass stuff and, you know, other stuff as well. So here's an unhyped version of this. And again, usually I like to write all of my parts myself, but sometimes when you're looking for ideas and inspirations, these kind of loops and you know, samples of a certain rhythm can really help spark new ideas and creativity. Take your mind somewhere else, and that's really nice to have. So it's definitely not something you should be overlooking. That is big. Probably would pair it with a different snare because it doesn't quite sort of punch as hard, but that kick is insane. Okay, maybe I was a bit harsh on the snare. It's a great snare, don't get me wrong, but I'll probably put a bit of a kind of, I don't know, punch and air into it. Not punch, snap and air. But yeah, sits really nicely in that mix as well. So let's do fill her up. Tom's hyped. Okay, so this is toms only. And sometimes when you're looking to layer stuff, those kind of pedal toms can be pretty useful as well. So what do we have left here? Hi-hats and cymbals, so that's all I presume is here. So these kind of patches are really useful when you just obviously want to add those things in. Also, I like to work with elements separated, so that's really good. So then you have snare performances, combos. That is so punchy. That's gonna cut right through your mix, even in a dense cinematic mix. Okay, that snare is going right into my template. Sticks, clacks, and wax. I love this kind of stuff. Really brings a lot of humanity and life into your percussive sections. That can be just a tiny additional rhythmic element to your percussive sections, and that can really, it can really be the missing piece. Okay, that was the Ensemble designer. So now we only have the loop designer. When I say only, that's not exactly an accurate description, because there's a lot of stuff here. So I will have to select stuff, but let's try and go through the all-stars at least. So you got basically this loop designer split into triplets, or triplet samples, and then straight. So obviously that's a reference to the meter, I believe is the correct word for that. So you have to choose that based on your track. I'm going to focus on the straight ones here. We're just going to go with All Star and Bytes. Bytes the Dust. What you should know is that I believe the blue section here triggers all of the layers, and then these orange, yellow, light blue, dark blue, these are actually separated layers. So I'm just going to demonstrate that really quickly if you haven't used Damage 2 or 1. Okay, so it's not playing the last because that's like an effect layer, but the octave here is triggering these 3 layers, it seems. And if I play it on its own, it only triggers the section that is in question. So usually it goes low, mid, high, and that's pretty well laid out. But you can also combine, so each key basically in the same octave is playing that same pre-designed loop, but you can combine them in any ways you want. So I'm just going to play around with it. Well, firstly, I'm going to play these combined loops just to give you an idea what's in there. These are just amazing. Heavyocity is so good at doing this. So yeah, that gives you an idea. And I'm just going to at random combine, let's say 3 different layers here, and you can hear what that sounds like. And obviously that was a poor combination of things because it didn't quite jam very well, but the point is you can combine these in any ways you want, and yeah, really inspiring way to work. Even if you don't end up using the loop, it can really give you quick new ideas and then get you closer to where you want to go, because I know a lot of people don't want to use loops, and that's fine, but don't underestimate what they can do in terms of, at the very least, inspiration. Again, we've moved on to the second folder here, so, or preset collection, organically breathing. And yeah, obviously if you look into contact here, you can see the blue layer triggering all of these 3 layers here. So, but again, let's just combine some layers freely here. Really great stuff. Another thing that composers easily underestimate because of ego issues is these are actually played by professional musicians, and the tiny details of the touch, even if I took like these sounds and programmed the same exact loop, a lot of the tiny details are missing. And I understand that a loop might not serve what you're trying to do, but in those cases, I'd say use the loop for inspiration, use it as a reference point, because even if you know the loop isn't going to work, you now know what you want to change. And that's super useful. Oftentimes when we're writing music, we just want to progress. We obsess and focus on perfection when in truth, the most useful thing is progress, just improving on what we're doing. So let's check out Rapid Fire. So again, amazing productional elements there. So much to groove with. And again, this is such an inspirational tool because, again, you can hear something you like in the loop and think, okay, oh, I want to use that. And then just use that layer and forget about the whole layer loop thing. And then build on top of that. But I mean, to me, these are so inspiring. You can take that and turn it into a song. And at the end of the day, you might have the loop in there or you might not. But again, you made music. So congratulations. So you got breakouts, damaged full loops, hybrid full loops, organic full loops. And again, utility here, this is full loops, then it's kind of broken into low, high, and mid. Let's check out breakouts just to get a better idea of what's in here. Okay, this gets me excited because I'm working on a soundtrack and this is 100% gonna go in there because I've been trying to marry the kind of big epic organic percussion with this kind of synthetic drum machine, more like sound. And I think I was hoping initially that this was personally gonna fill in kind of a tiny gap in between that I was looking for, and these patches sound really good for that. That's amazing stuff. And again, pick and choose whatever layer you want. You don't have to use the full layers. This is so inspiring. And this is why I encourage a lot of people to at least check these out. Don't underestimate the power of professionally done in every sense loops. And because Heavyocity has thought about this from a very musical point of view. They don't trap you into ideas. The beauty about these layers are that you can combine them and use them any way you want. So this is amazing stuff. Okay, hybrid full loops. Okay, that one element is super inspiring. I think it's the high one. Sounds like a frog dying and being turned into a cyborg. I don't know. First of all, that kick hits like crazy, and that frog sound is the best thing I've heard in a long while. This is beyond grade A stuff. This is S tier. This is insanely good stuff. I'm going to start using this today. And this is beautiful because it is kind of distinctively, I wouldn't say subtle or more controlled. You're getting the damage treatment just like with damage 1 and 2, but this is slightly more focused, like a drum kit would be in a kind of a band context, because a lot of the loops and stuff in Damage 2 are really massive and come from different sound sources. So this has that focusedness and kind of leaning into kind of the DM307, which is the library over here. Amazing one. I'm going to do a demo of that very soon, but this is a nice bridge in between. Okay, now I'm, blabbering, but I'm excited. I love this because it kind of has that function of a drum kit, but it's very refined, and it kind of has this, I don't know, cinematic sort of produced edge. So that's amazing. Okay, well, I mean, I guess this is pretty much it for this demo, this review. I'm in love. This is amazing. I love these loops. I wouldn't have thought that. I knew I was going to be impressed by it, but that's amazing stuff. That's S tier, beyond grade A, tier A stuff. And again, a lot of where those loops come from, obviously, you can find as individual components in the kit designer, the ensemble designer. So yeah, highly recommended. This is very cool stuff. Thanks to Heavyocity for sending this over. I hope I've helped you, the viewer / listener, help get a better handle on this and understand what it's about. And most importantly, hear it in action and see it in action. That's how I want to do demos, because that's what I personally want to see. I just want to hear as much as possible of the plugin or the sample library as possible, and then actually hear it, see it in action, both in Kontakt as well as here. So hopefully I've provided that for you today. That's it for this demo. Go check it out. Highly recommended by yours truly. So yeah, that's it. I'm not gonna blabber on for any more than that. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next time. Take care. Finished.